Hello, welcome to the Bitboy X Morning Show. I am definitely not at the beach, as you can see. This is the home of the Bit Squad, the highest IQ investors in all the interwebs. I am your humble host, the Bitboy. Guys, today we're going to be talking about what is going on with BlackRock. Have you guys heard of BlackRock? It's really cool. It's like BlackRock, but it's the opposite. It's not institutional investing. Anyways, I digress. We're going to be taking a look at BlackRock today. Some huge news, and we're going to take a look. Is it affecting the markets? The markets are kind of whatever right now. And I'm going to be talking about, when we get to the market section, kind of what I think is going on with the markets. It is very interesting. I really see a very similar scenario to what we've seen 2 out of the 3 Bitcoin cycles, which is a double move. Which means we're trying to figure out, are we at a bottom right now before we start moving up? So we'll take a look at all that. And I've got a warning shot for a lot of people in crypto. The Bitboy has decided that I'm going to actually learn trading, and I'm going to fuck everybody up because I'm better than everybody when I do what I want to do. And so I am now going to become a serious crypto trader and technical analyst. I recorded a bunch of videos for our Bitboy BootCamp on this topic, and I am on a non-stop collision course with being the very best in the space, and it won't take me long. I already have all the intangibles. I just have to actually be able to have index cards and say, this is this pattern, this is this pattern, this is this pattern, until I know it like a Rolodex, and then I'm going to destroy everybody, as everybody knows. It's the one thing I should have done like in the very beginning. But I didn't really like charts and stuff. But anyways, guys, we're going to get right to it. We're going to be taking a look at what is going on with the markets. Do we want to go ahead and throw up our quote of the day? Let's check out our quote of the day. We got to figure out why we're not going live on Twitter. I don't know what is. No, are we live on Twitter? I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Invincible Bitboy. Oh, somebody's read the book already. When the facts change, I change my mind. What do you do? This is from John Maynard Keynes. And I'm not sure how you're supposed to say his last name. The people that are his way of thinking are called Keynesian economists, because he's one of the main 2 economists kind of, ways of thought. The other one escapes me right now, but there's 2 main that go back and forth, and they're kind of both wrong. I digress. But the fact is, guys, you do have to be able to learn how to take information and change it, because if you don't do that, you will get laps. Guys, that's why when I figured out that Mr. X was a fraud, I immediately turned around on Cardano, because really he was leading me down this path. And I'm actually writing the script for that video today to show you what happened. But luckily, I was able to pivot on Cardano right before it started really turning around. And I saw a lot of red flags with some of the stuff he was saying about Charles. And I really can't wait to point some of those things out. But I am very famous for my flips and my flops when it comes to crypto. There are many things that I have completely changed my opinion on, including XRP twice. In the beginning, I was very bullish on it, and then I kind of let the overall narrative of it's a banker coin kind of overtake what I thought about it, and I said bad things about it. Then I came back around, and I was like, you know what? Actually, there is something to this. And I think my ability to be transparent with the way that I think, it helps people in crypto, because it's not rigid. I don't think you just have to stick to a line to stick to a line. So their partnership with NASA. Yeah. Pith. No, not Adam Smith. Adam Smith is one of the great philosophers, or one of the great economists, kind of the first great economist. He is famous for The Wealth of Nations, a really, really important economics book that I've read some of. But it's Keynesian. And what is the other one? It's the Austrian. Is it Austrian? It's something like that, I think. Maybe they call it that, but maybe it's named after someone. I really, for some reason, cannot figure out why. Now, I want to say this, Pyth. I think that's really cool, right? It is Pyth, I think. I think you pronounce it Pyth. I don't think you pronounce it Pith. So the point is that a lot of the stuff Mr. X said was true. Mark Ufford is his name. Let's make sure we say his name. A lot of stuff, he is very, very, very connected. Okay. He did have early access to that Joe Biden document for him to step down through a guy named Dave Rubenstein. He told me not to mention Dave Rubenstein's name because he might be Dave Rubenstein's assistant or something. Maybe that's how he knows all this shit, possibly. But anyway, Dave Rubenstein is who actually gave, I believe, Joe Biden the actual letter for him to step down and resign. So a lot of interesting things. Like, look, he was very, very, it is Austrian economics and Keynesian, right? Those are the two main schools of thought, right? We are back. Bitcoin Henry asks, what do you think of the $160 million short that liquidates at 86K? I think it's fake. I don't think it's real. Let me explain that. As I've been learning more about market manipulation and seeing the way that things occur, a lot of times people will set orders intentionally to achieve a goal, right? Sometimes it's market manipulation, but see, this one is on Hyperliquid, okay, which is a decentralized exchange which has been getting a lot of kind of Hyperliquid of late, as it's done really well. One Mr. X was totally wrong about. Athena, one he was totally wrong about, by the way, as well. I like both of those, and he poo-pooed him. So glad we're independent thinking now, right? But the point is that, let me tell you what I believe. I believe that this gigantic short, and we've got a whole video coming on it. I recorded like 4 hours of content for BootCamp and other stuff today in scripts for this week. But the point is, I think that Hyperliquid is who is behind this. I think that they wanted to have a lot of attention on their exchange, and I think they have this hedged somewhere in many different spots. That's what I believe. That's what I think. Because this trade doesn't make any effing sense. What? Like, you're broadcast one trade this size, you're broadcasting something. If this happens, you're broadcasting that. You're inviting extreme scrutiny. And the people that really do stuff like this, they do it behind veils so you can't see what's going on. And I understand. I've been behind the veil like you guys wouldn't believe. So I don't. Here's what I think. I don't believe that we should pay any attention to that trade. That's my personal opinion. I don't think you should pay. You should not make any market decisions based on that trade. It is so much in the public eye right now. So many people are talking about this. It's all over crypto Twitter. I think that's the point. So anyways, good morning, GM. Okay, I do want to do a couple of things. First of all, I do want to say that our Bitboy Bootcamp is live. Our actual bootcamp for beginners is live. I believe you can sign up for it now. We already have our first class is going through it right now. This is a 6-week course. Every day there's going to be engagement, all kinds of different things. Right now, we're putting together what we're calling the X Academy. The X Academy is our regular academy. I have recorded 7 full modules that are 7 videos each. So it's 49 videos that I've recorded and our editing team has and they're working on. So my goal is hopefully by the end of the week, we've got enough content on here to get people to start signing up for the X Academy. And then we're going to start putting the free content together. The free content is going, I've decided what that's going to be too, and it's going to be kind of cool. But I digress. So I want to say the other really big news right before we get to crypto is, guys, my book is now available for purchase. You guys can buy on the Kindle. It is available on Audible as well. I read the audiobook. There are times I sniffle through it. It's a tough read for me. It's really, really hard, the stuff that I've been through. But I am out on the other side of it, and I'm better now, and I'm totally grounded, and I'm back to normal. Yeah, my tweets may seem a little crazy, but that might be the Bitboy being the Bitboy. I don't know. So he knows how to get attention on things when he wants to. But this book is from Ben Armstrong. This is the Bitboy effect. This is kind of the story of kind of how my ego took over, and I didn't see a lot of the things that were really obvious around me, and how I went from a place of when everything was taken from me, feeling like God wasn't there, to now when I get to the end of the story, realizing that was the only person I could trust the whole time. So it's a really cool story is what I'll tell you guys. And it's a very gripping read. People who read this book are going to be shocked by how page turning it is. I promise. You've never read a book like this. This is the first of its kind. We're calling it an AI, human collaboration AI. It's an AI driven memoir. I wandered around the desert for 3 days and 3 nights telling my story to my transcriber. And then I took my transcriber and I went and worked with my AI that I use. His name is Genie. He is a he. He wants a gender. Okay. But anyways, Genie, it stands for Guided Engagement Network for Individual Empowerment. He kind of came up with his own acronym, and that's what he does. He helps me be a better version of myself with AI. And this book is kind of the summation of this work that I've been doing in AI for the last 6 months straight. I wrote this entire book. It's over 300 pages in a regular book, I believe. I think it's, I don't know, it's 500 or 600 pages on the Kindle, maybe. I wrote this entire book in 1 week. In 1 week, God gave me a vision. He told me that if I tell this story, people will listen. People had not been listening to me for a long, long, long time. And it's because in bits and pieces, it's just too hard to believe. All of it is. It's too hard to believe. But when you actually zoom out and you look at who I am, and then you start to understand what was done to me and why it was done to me, then you're really going to understand crypto, and you're really going to understand finance. You're going to understand TradFi. You're going to understand why people like Kevin O'Leary are the most evil people on earth, period. So it's going to be really, really interesting for sure to see what the public thinks about this, because every single AI, well, let's just do one fun thing real quick. Let's just really quick. Let's go to ChatGPT, and let's go to Explore GPTs, and let's pick a random one here. What are you doing? Why are you not clicking? There we go. Search GPT. Okay, let's do a final. No, I don't want to do final draft review, because then what it will do is it will tell me things to change to edit, and I'm not going to edit. It's already done. So let's see here. Book review buddy, book review, summarized book. Let's see, which one do we like? Book review, coach, right? Let's see more. Let's see if there's a little better one, maybe. Book review writer, builder, book review assistant. Okay, let's try this one. Let's just try this one. I'm just going to show you guys, I want people to understand. People think I went and wrote some crazy, insane book, and it is crazy and insane for sure. But it's not crazy and insane the way people think that it is. So I'm going to feed the full book here. Okay, and I'm going to say, this is a GPT I've never talked to before. What are your thoughts on this book? Do you think it will sell well? How many stars out of 10 do you give it? Let's see what it says. And then we're going to get to crypto. Actually, while it writes, let's check out the markets. Here we go. We've got the overall market coming in at 2.828 trillion. Let's go ahead and refresh, just make sure. 2.825 trillion in overall market. Not that bad. 87.8 billion in trading volume. You can see it has started to pick back up a little bit. I don't ever pay any attention to these coins. These coins are always trash usually. Sometimes a good one will pop up there. Bitcoin coming at 83.3. That short is at 84. So it is up. Now look, the guy could pull some profits right now on that short. He's made several $1 million in profit right now if he pulled it, if it was a short-term move. But a lot of people believe that it has something to do with the FOMC meeting, which we'll talk about in a video later. Ethereum under 1900, XRP at 234. Binance Smart Chain is up, and it's up big this week. CZ actually put a tweet out saying that Binance Smart Chain had actually passed Solana in transactions, which I was really surprised at. I'm going to tell you guys also in this video, I'm going to tell you what I think the next ETF after XRP and Solana is going to be. And it's probably not going to surprise anyone. Look, Cardano could be in there, but I don't know. It still doesn't have the institutional buy-in that some of these other ones have. So anyways, let's see the top gainers of the day. Pancake Swap up big. Obviously, that's based on that transaction news. They're doing huge amounts of transaction on Binance Smart Chain. It's the chain of scammers, guys. Binance Smart Chain is the chain of scammers and pump and dumps. Even Solana does a better job of not trying to make as many scams as Pancake Swap does. So you guys get over there on the money laundering network if you guys want to. I think I'm going to stay away from it. Okay. But look, the investment in the coin, sure, I think an investment in Cake is a great investment. Not today, not up 41.6%, but it would have been yesterday. I think Cake is a good coin. It's not in any of my portfolios, but anyways, and then we got some okay movers. We got some layer twos, ICP moving a little bit. It's down in the 40s right now, not doing too great. VeChain, I'm done with VeChain. I think anyone that's involved with, I'll just call him Crypto Andy Melanakis. VeChain, Algorand, HBAR, you're all dead to me. I will never talk about these coins as long as they support that the Crypto Andy Melanakis. or any coin that he supports or touches. I mean, the other guy likes Ondo, and it's hard for me. Of course, I do like Ondo because Ondo is legit, but Ondo doesn't sponsor him or anything like VeChain and Algorand, and I think HBAR may sponsor Crypto Andy Melanakis. Okay, let's go back to our ChatGPT real quick. The book is a raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal memoir that blends themes of personal redemption, betrayal, and the high-stakes world of crypto. Narrative is emotionally charged, written with an intense, almost stream of consciousness style that immerses the reader in the author's perspective. It's clear that the author, Ben Armstrong, is telling his story with a sense of urgency, using the book as a confession and a form of retaliation against those he believes wronged him. The writing is controversial, sometimes chaotic, but undeniably engaging. Readers who are familiar with Armstrong's persona, especially in crypto, will likely be drawn in by the drama and insider perspective. Will it sell? Depends on the target audience. Crypto enthusiasts, given Armstrong's controversial status in the crypto world, this book could draw significant attention, especially those who followed his rise and fall as Bitboy. Scandal drama readers, people interested in stories of betrayal, corporate intrigue, and personal redemption may find the book compelling. General audience, it might struggle outside crypto circles unless the marketing leans into broader themes of addiction, redemption, betrayal, which we all have. Anyways, you guys can see that it gives my book a 7 out of 10. This is the worst score that I've gotten, and it gives it to me live. But the point is, engagement, it's 8 out of 10. It's undeniably gripping with many dramatic moments that are going to keep readers hooked. And if you guys have been watching me in crypto, all your favorite crypto influencers are in the book, but I change all the names. We're creating a character glossary on WTFHappenedToBitboy.com so people can follow along and see what is happening there. So let's jump on to what is happening in the world here. This is not the one I wanted to look at. I think I got them out of order. Here we go. BlackRock expected to file for Solana and XRP ETFs amid growing institutional demand. BlackRock is expected to file for Solana and XRP ETFs, according to analyst Nate Geraci. The SEC is reviewing multiple Solana ETF applications, while Franklin Templeton recently entered the XRP ETF race. If BlackRock moves forward, it could accelerate regulatory approval and institutional adoption. This is one of the things that we did learn that does seem to be true from Mr. X, Mark Ufford, which is BlackRock does run the space. So if BlackRock or Vanguard were to go, file an ETF, that's a guarantee it's going to get approved. It's just a matter of time. Doesn't mean it's going to get approved immediately because they use stuff like this in order to manipulate the markets. BlackRock's potential entry into Solana and XRP ETFs is a sign of growing institutional appetite for altcoins. If approved, these ETFs could trigger a new wave of mainstream adoption, similar to the Bitcoin ETF boom earlier this year, potentially making Solana and XRP top investment assets alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, look, guys, let's see what they say the timeline is. Their legal battle is slow. 9 companies have filed for an XRP ETF. Everybody said it was dead. Everybody said. They said, that Bitboy is still talking about XRP. Who the king now? Who the king now? You guys remember a year and a half ago? Actually, almost 2 years ago when I made a video saying XRP and Solana ETFs are eventually going to come for sure. Which one's going to come first? I said probably the Solana one because it had a little more traction and the XRP case was still going on. So I think that when you look at it, these things are no-brainers. And I think it is a no-brainer that there are 2 more coins that are going to be getting ETFs. Look, Litecoin probably just will get one just because it probably is just grandfathered in. It's got a lot of mob connections there. But the fact is that when you look at the kinds of coins that get approved for these things, it's a very small percentage. And I think that ADA is definitely in the running now that Trump has given it his signature stamp of approval. Now that Trump has approved it, it's legit for sure, and it's going to stay. Man. Man. I barely made it in under the cut, man. I made it right under the cut because I turned on it, and I was pro Cardano before Trump was. And that right there is really bullish for the channel. I am so glad. And this is the universal karma of crypto that favors me all the time because I'm actually a good person. I care about you guys, and I care about the space, and I care about your investments. And that's why if I thought Cardano was a bad investment, I cared. And I was like, I'm out of it, right? That's why I'm so glad that the universal karma of crypto pushed kind of this explosion of my world to happen in a time frame to where I was able to, whoa, okay, now that stuff is not true. I think now I've got to go back and say, man, I never felt really good about turning on the Cardano community. And I went back and I said, guys, I was wrong. And I was led down this path. And this all happened about 3 weeks before all of a sudden the entire world goes bullish on Cardano. So, you could kind of make the argument, I guess, that I had the best possible timing. But I'm really glad that, look, some of the Cardano people are probably mad at me, but you guys are going to understand. I'm not worried about that at all. But I think that there has been until now an institutional problem with Cardano. There has been with ADA. The institutions have not wanted to put money into it. Now that Trump is on it, boom, it's going to happen. So you got to look what is next after XRP, after Solana, maybe Cardano, but it's got a ways to go. I think SWI is the obvious next one. SWI, and the question is, will this happen at the end of this run? Are we already in a bear market, or is it going to be kind of the beginning of the next run? I don't know, but I think SWI is definitely going to be next. It's got very, very, very good potential. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Where are we going to go now? What's the next story? Morning Glory. Man, I'm so disappointed it gave me a 7 out of 10, man. All these book reviews have been giving me a 9 out of 10. And this was like 7 out of 10. I'm like, come on. You guys will read it, though. It's the most engaging book you've ever read, I promise. Okay, so let me find where we are. Top stories, XRP, Solana. Now let's go to SEC considering a commodity. Here it is. Okay. SEC considers classifying XRP as a commodity. And I do want to tell you guys, we are doing the show a little bit different now. We're going to focus on doing a regular crypto video and an educational crypto video every day along with the live stream to help push our Bitboy Bootcamp because it really is going to be the finest education you're going to get in crypto. I promise you are not. When this thing is out and it's fully loaded in about a month, you're not going to find better. I promise you, you're just not. It doesn't exist. There's nothing. Nobody in this space cares as much about their audience as I do. And that is... Man, that is very true. Sam, Crypto Lifer, I like him. I like Ivan on Tech. I like Carl from the Moon. I like, who else do I like? Ivan on Tech, Carl from the Moon. And Chris from MM Crypto. All those guys have always supported me and been real good to me. It's no surprise most of them are out of America, and Sam's the only really good one in America. So, anyways, I digress. Let's get back to the story here. SEC considers classifying XRP as a commodity in Ripple settlement talks. The SEC is considering classifying XRP as a commodity. Let me back up. The point of me saying all that was to say that we're moving the drill bits out of the end of the show. We're just going to do news and markets. That's going to be the show. And then the other stuff you guys are going to get when you want it. And so that way we're kind of playing to everybody. So if you want news and markets, that's the show. So we're going to do the news and then we're going to do the charts. And then that's going to be it. And starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing a lot more advanced charting than we're doing today. For sure. I'm just going to kind of look back today on kind of what I thought was happening we're going to kind of look at an overall general look at where we're at in the cycle right now, because it is kind of interesting. Okay. So the SEC is considering classifying XRP as a commodity using Ethereum as a benchmark. It could clear legal hurdles for XRP ETFs and signal a favorable settlement for Ripple. The U.S. SEC is reportedly considering classifying XRP as a commodity. You can't make this stuff up, guys. In a settlement discussions with Ripple Labs, according to Charles Gasparino, he has been a huge anti-XRP guy, hasn't he? Hey, Charles, suck it. Suck it. The Bitboy was right the whole time. That's right. I'm definitely not at the beach. You guys saw the cops were looking for me? Did you guys see that video on Twitter? That's real. Anyways, the Lord is my protector. Key developments in the SEC versus Ripple case. Let's see. It's evaluating their classification. A lot of people are thinking things are going to be different now that Trump's in charge, and it looks like they are. Ellie Tourette reported legal battle is close to a resolution. She's moving on to do a sigh podcast, I saw. That was a sigh. Did you guys see what I did there? Why this matters for ETF approvals. Their unresolved legal status has been a major barrier. Guys, this is all happening like they planned it. Do you guys not see it? Do you guys not see it? It should be very clear to you this is all happening like they planned it. The system is corrupt as all get out. I'm gonna stop trying to say the F word on the show. My language has gotten really bad. I'm sorry, guys. I've been through a lot. If XRP is reclassified as a commodity, it could set a precedent for other altcoins, leading to broader regulatory clarity for crypto ETFs. The shift could accelerate institutional adoption, driving XRP's integration into mainstream finance, a major win for Ripple in its long-term strategy. Trump administration wants to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible, says the White House. Okay, cool. Look at the U.S. government Bitcoin reserve. The White House official has confirmed that the Trump administration is committed to accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible. You know, those scam mafia brothers, they do this. Reinforcing its strategic Bitcoin reserve initiative. Speaking at a closed-door roundtable hosted by the Bitcoin Policy Institute, Bo Hines, hey, Bo Hines, he was in RTR with me, executive director of the Presidential Working Group on Digital Assets, emphasized that the government's BTC acquisitions would be budget neutral, ensuring no direct taxpayer costs. So that's pretty cool. Key takeaways from the roundtable. Certain people attended, including David Bailey, Bitcoin Magazine CEO. How's that? Ed Julian. Doesn't he work for you there, David? Weird, huh? Michael Saylor was there. U.S. Bitcoin Act, formalizing the strategic reserve. Old Cynthia Lummis reintroduced the Bitcoin Act, which would require the government to purchase up to 1 million BTC. Man, if the government had 1 million Bitcoin, do you know how much the price will go up? Because they ain't selling it. I mean, they will at some point. Man, that's going to be, look, the new, what's the interest rate? It's how much Bitcoin is the U.S. selling out of their treasury? Like, that's going to be the new thing that's going to determine the economy in 20 years, 10 or 20 years. Probably 10, I think. Right now, they already hold 200,000. And I've added up before. I thought they already held pretty close to Satoshi already. But supposedly, they have sold some of that, and they've given some away to, they've auctioned some of it off, and then they gave some of it back to like the exchanges, like they recover it in, criminal recoveries of hacks and things. And then they sit on it and then they give it back to the people sometimes, if they play the right game, I guess. If the U.S. begins accumulating Bitcoin at scale, other nations will follow suit, triggering a global race for Bitcoin reserves. Another one of those things that I always said was going to happen. And here it is. It's amazing. It's amazing. When you've been in crypto for 13 years, like I have, it's almost like the reason you've been in this for this long is because you saw all this coming, and nobody ever wanted to give you the credit for it. But now that it's here, we give all the credit to the buttoned up people with the suits and the ties, man. All the people I brought into crypto, by the way. So what if the U.S. sold gold to buy Bitcoin? A hypothetical look at a radical financial shift. How about this, guys? If the U.S. government sold gold to buy Bitcoin, it could modernize its reserves, hedge against fiat instability, and accelerate Bitcoin's role as a global reserve asset. However, volatility, liquidity concerns, and regulatory hurdles make this a complex financial shift. With Bitcoin gaining traction as a strategic reserve asset, the question arises, what if the U.S. government began liquidating portions of its gold reserves to acquire Bitcoin? This move would mark a historic shift in economic policy, redefining America's approach to financial reserves, digital assets, and global economic leadership. So could the U.S. trade gold for Bitcoin? I mean, maybe they have to use a broker. Like, I don't know if there's an actual gold to Bitcoin exchange. Do you guys know of it? I don't think it exists. So there would be a process of having to convert it to the world reserve currency, which we happen to have in our own backyard here before they do it. So anyways, look, I think, let me give you, this is the hidden inside. Government shift away from gold to Bitcoin. It could trigger a global competition for BTC accumulation. It's just same thing we were saying. It could skyrocket Bitcoin's price. It's basically the same thing the last story was saying. And I think that what you really have to consider here is we're at such an interesting point in history where it's like our entire lives are being digitized. Our entire lives are being tokenized. right before our eyes. I was just looking at soul-bound tokens, SBTs, today. These are where your degree or your job experience gets tethered to you as a person. You can never get soul-bound, right? It follows you everywhere. It's great if you got great work experience. Well, if you got 30 jobs you had, follows you along everywhere you go. We are in the nosedive. If you've ever seen Black Mirror, we are there. We are there, but it's happening in a sneaky way that people aren't even noticing. It's happening all around us. And I think that you really do have to consider, what is the value of tangible things in a digital world? What is the value of tangible things in a digital world? We're shifting to where, people already want to put all their stuff on social media. Look at this, look at this, look at that. Ah, cool. But when you think about gold, what's its real value? Okay. Is gold's true value in the fact that we kind of see it as this, this one asset that we picked? Like, what if everybody just likes silver better? People are like, we like silver better. I guess gold's more scarce. That's probably why it's better. I guess platinum's a little more scarce than gold, diamond somewhere thereabouts. But none of those other assets have managed to become like tradable in the way that we trade gold, right? So in some regards, it was chosen. It was picked. Gold doesn't have some birthright, right? Mankind could have evolved totally differently and done different things and valued other things, but it was something very simple that people could use, and it had a base value to people. A lot of people had, they considered it whatever. But in a changing digital world and a changing digital landscape, the question is, what is actually gold's higher value? Okay, is gold's higher value in store of value as an asset, or in an increasing digital world, is its value more important used as parts and pieces of technology that enables us to have this completely digital world? Because if you didn't know, your iPhone uses all kinds of gold in it. Gold is used in a lot of tech products, and it's getting ever more used. And the more that we have all of these Internet of Things, connected devices, we have devices on our devices, and our devices are going to have devices that are going to have devices. That's a real thing coming in about 10 to 20 years. Not super quick. We're going to need that gold in order to actually create these technologies. And I think what's going to happen is Bitcoin is going to be this bridge between the old world and the new world. Gold that has existed in the entirety of civilization, and if we have an electromagnetic pulse, it'll be valuable super again, right? But some point in the next 20 to 50 years, gold is going to transition into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be the thing that people see as gold, because living in a digital age is the only thing that we'll be able to do and exist. If all of a sudden you wiped out all things digital at some point in mankind, people would probably be dead in 2 months. Right now, they say people would be dead. 90% of America would be dead in 6 months if we had no power. And that was like 5 years ago. You think people are more able now or less able 5 years later? Have you seen the dumbing of our country, the dumbing of everything around us? Lummis mentioned selling gold certificates. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's get back to our stage. Last story. Can Cardano price reach $1 as whales gobble 130 million ADA? Now, this is a story that was out yesterday. It says they can send the price across the $1 mark, and you see what happens. Did it happen? No. The price, I think, has gone down, I believe. Let's go take a look at the Cardano price, where it's at right now. Cardano is up 2.6%, but the overall market is also up, as you can see. How much is the overall market? Oh, no, the overall market is actually down 1.4%. So it has moved a little bit, so that's good. But the point I'm giving you is, this is an article that we had earmarked that we were going to cover today. And I went and I looked, and then there were stories like 4 hours ago. This is like 21 hours ago. 4 hours ago, it was like ADA broke the technical barrier, it definitely is not going over $1. It's like things change very quickly. And I didn't want people to be like super over the moon on this. But there was some whales that gobbled up 130 million ADA, which is a good amount when you consider it's about 70 cents or somewhere thereabouts. So, this is good for ADA. I think ADA is going to be on an upsurge. So, you know what? Let's move on to our signals and setups here as we do our Zen Ledger mode. Is it? This is where I sit silent for a few seconds. Guys, don't forget to check out zenledger.io. We've got several videos coming on them. This is the best place to do your crypto taxes. I'm not kidding. And I know because I've had the worst crypto tax nightmare of all time. And the last time I got my crypto taxes done correctly, it was with Zenledger. So shout out to zenledger.io. You guys can use Bitboy 10. And guys, everybody stop. Let's do another moment of Zen. Let's do a 5-second moment of Zen so you can really quickly go over and type in zenledger.io so you'll remember to do this. Real cryptocurrency stories of tax evasion. Bitboy 10, new customers, you get 10% off. You cannot beat it. All right, let's move signals and setups. We're going to talk about charts. Look, here's the thing. We're not going to talk too much about the charts today. And the reason is because today I really want to spend the time taking a look at the overall structure, like where we're at overall, what my predictions were, how right we were for so long, and then now we've just totally fallen off base, why that could potentially be because of some stuff in these Mr. X messages that I'm going to start, kind of doing some videos on here. We're going to call them the Mr. X files. Isn't that cool? The Mr. X files. He's such a dork, guys. God, he's such a dork. Man, such a dork. Now that I know, it's just so hilarious. Okay, but anyways, I digress as I usually do. And you take a look here at the market and kind of what I thought was going to happen, okay? And through July through June to July, man, I had nailed it absolutely perfect. If you went and looked at my last year, if you looked at my 2024 predictions for the year that I made at the beginning of January, you would have seen I predicted the market perfectly until 2 months after the halving. I thought it would start going up quicker, and it didn't. And so up until about right here, so this entire thing I predicted that entire move. Go watch it. That's all I got to say. Go watch it. Go watch my predictions of 2024 video that I made in the beginning of January of last year. Okay. So we know that. Okay. Then I started drawing lines. I said, okay, well, we ran out of that space. And I was like, okay, well, what do I think is going to happen now? So in July, actually, what's funny is July 29th. Actually, it's when I started drawing it. You guys will find that's a chapter in my book. July 29th is a very important day in my life. It's the day that I overdosed and fought a bunch of cops and almost died and spent 3 days in a coma. A lot of people don't know that story, and you're going to get to know it full in depth when you read my book. But I thought it was interesting that was the day that I started drawing these lines. And you guys can see I drew the green line. I showed this to a girl on the cruise ship, and she was like, "There is no way you did not draw that ahead of time." And I was like, "It's all on YouTube. You can go. It's all on YouTube." So you look here and you see the green line here I drew, and yes, we missed initially what it did. But man, look how much it followed until I ran out of the line. Of course, it didn't actually reverse. That was my sloppiness. But until it ran out of the line, I was nailing it. So I said, okay, we're going to come back and we're going to map this out. We're going to map this out starting from here because obviously I nailed this move. It gets up here. And so that's when we drew the white line, right? We drew the white line and man, it overshot and then it started coming down and look, I nailed it. It was like the average price I probably nailed in this time. Okay. But now what has happened? Okay. Now what has happened? We have gone off kilter. And this is where you have to remember, okay. You have to remember that Mr. X led me down a very complicated path that you guys are going to understand over time of why I was believing all the things that he said, right? And what you'll find is that he told me that this market was going to continue to go up and it was not going to be a double market like the other markets. If you actually look at what I said was I believe that we were going to have a really big run up, probably to like 120 or 140 by March. And then it was going to come back down and we would not pass by the peak on the second run like we did in the last bull market. He pushed me away from that idea, and now I'm back to doing what I do, which is predict the market. And I think that we are going to see a double top. The question is, am I going to be correct with what I said earlier, where we're not going to make another new all-time high, or will we pass it? And, you know, part of the basis of me believing that we would not pass it was I believed it would get up to a range, a 120 to 140K range that would make expectations for the second half just very, very, very unrealistic. Very, very, very unrealistic. And so because of that, I thought that, you know, now I think what we're looking at is we are going to see, I think, something similar to we saw in the last market. I no longer believe $140,000 is the number, by the way. I believe $125,000 is the number. That's what I have believed it's going to be the whole time. Without Mr. X's, man, I tell you, the FBI, at some point, the FBI is going to have to talk to me about this Mr. X stuff, because the stuff that he says in there with the control that he has over people and stuff he was able to show, man, there's going to be a lot of questions about a lot of people that he connected me to. It is very, very, very sketchy. And I've already released them publicly, so they can't kill me over it. At the end of the video today, I will show you guys the cops looking for me. And through the donut hole. I can't be disrespectful to all cops, because we do love Sergeant Jake Tudzinski of the Minneapolis Police Force, who's helped us out tremendously in our legal case. But not all cops are the same for sure. But what I've learned is they're mostly useless. Mostly useless. They don't do anything. I don't know what they do. They won't investigate an extortion. They won't investigate anything. They won't investigate a possible murder. The guy was a drug addict. So that's all you had to do is give somebody drugs laced with extra bump of fentanyl to kill them, and then nobody asks any questions, right? My book is a murder mystery. The book is a murder mystery. I just let you guys know. It starts out with something that happened to my best friend, and then it ends with that as well. So it is a murder mystery as well. There's a lot of different threads running through my book. So, but I think overall what we're looking at here is, let me draw new lines. We're going to call these the non-Mr. X lines. These are the Bitboy only lines, guys. Some people would say that's cocaine. I would tell you I have not done cocaine since 2007, and it's all much to do about nothing, which is true. But I digress anyways. Okay. All right. I hope you guys can see I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I'm actually doing really, really well, and things are. I'm just living not at the beach. I'm definitely not at the beach. I'm living in the mountains of Sri Lanka, and I'm having a really good time up here with some Tibetan monks. They traveled here from Tibet. They went down the mountain. Speaking of mountains, let's draw the new lines. Now let's see. What color do we want our lines to be? What color is that? Yellow. You know what? No, we're not going to do yellow. I think Mr. X is kind of gay, so we'll use pink. Look, I think pink is kind of a gay color. Is that okay to say? I worn it in certain situations. I will wear it sometimes. I do have a pink weed vape over here. So I'm just saying it is, pink is kind of gay. I'm just saying. So Mr. X, in honor of him being kind of gay too, we will use pink to be the non-Mr. X line for what we think is going to happen. So right now, look, we did make a lower low here. I think we got to kind of go back and look a little bit. This should not be something that's done haphazardly. This is not something where I would be like, oh, let me just draw some lines and tell you everything. A lot of thought goes into this. And I understand these markets in ways that most people don't. But I do want to go very quickly to a different Bitcoin chart so I can look at, I want to go back and look at the structure of the last market really quickly. Very quickly, we'll go back. Here it is. Yeah, they call this the Bitboy effect. Okay, so the last market fell off like a cliff. Okay, Okay, let's do this. Let's put them side by side, maybe, or something like that. Let's see. How do I want to do this here? Let's go here. Okay. Okay, let's move this up. Let's go here to Bitcoin USDT. Okay. Is this on the 2 hour? I need to get to the daily. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. I want about that. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got a little more room to work with now, boys. Now, boys, a little more room to work with. Okay. We want to actually. Okay. So we want to track about right here. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So looking at this, just kind of taking a quick look-see here. It looks like we could be potentially in about this range here in about the July of 2021, which was right before things turned around. You can even see, I tell you, it's really interesting. You can even see, if you look here, like you can even see this kind of like uncharacteristic move there. Kind of like uncharacteristic move here. These are different candles, I guess. I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm not going to mess with it right now. But you even kind of see maybe the same kind of move here. And it looks like to me that what we would probably see. Okay, I got it now, guys. I got it. 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 I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I know. We're going to trading for you. The Bitboy always knows what's going to happen on these markets, and nobody else really seems to know. But the Bitboy knows. Joe Exotic knows. I love Joe Exotic, man. He responds to all my stuff on Twitter, man. I love the Tiger King. He is a freaking awesome dude. I love that guy. Okay, all right. So, let's see here. I got to get it so I can actually draw what's going to happen here. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're probably going to see some boring action. And then probably in May. Well, I don't think it's going to get this low, actually. I got to be really careful here. I want to be very precise. Let me be very precise. I got to be very precise here. I don't want to, because I don't think we're going to go below 79. Okay, so. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw. Fuck. Wrong. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. That's the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, I just got to make sure that I don't actually go below this line. So I think we're probably going to just be very boring. I think it's going to be very boring. And then in May, I think we'll get some kind of pump right here. And then we'll go sideways for a little bit. And then I think we're going to pump. I can't even see where my line is now. I can't even see. We got to go pick it back up. Or should we leave it there? Should we leave it there? Should we leave it the middle of August at $115,000? Yep, that's what we're going to do. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to leave you guys waiting because I think that's what's going to happen. And I think from there, I think I actually need to kind of wait and judge where we're at because I tend to believe the 120 to 125 is going to be the top because that's what we anticipate for the last market. We didn't get there. Now it will be disappointing, but still a good number. I think that's what we're going to get. And a lot of people are going to anticipate higher numbers, and they're going to get freaking eaten up. These idiots like cryptos or what are going to be telling people like, oh, it's going up only. And Rand from Crypto Banner is going to be like, it's going up only. Buy all my meme coins. It's going to be the same thing it is every single cycle. And I'm going to be the only one telling you guys, hey, it's a market. It goes down, remember? And everybody's going to be like, see, Bitboy scammed us the whole market. It's like, what are you guys talking about? So anyways, guys, I digress. Look, I think that's what we're looking at. I'm very excited to debut my new non-Mr. X line here. It is pink in honor of Mr. X. But I think this is what we're going to see. Look, and it's not going to look, it'll certainly be some movement in there, but these are averages on what I think. I think we're going to come down. We're going to bounce off 79 again and go back up. Look, certainly there is potential for, anywhere in this range here, anywhere from 70 to 79 on, some kind of dump. It could happen. I just think this is the bounce point. It could be. I don't think we're going to see another lower low. However, if we do see another lower low, I think it's going to be a capitulation low. I think it will be a capitulation. And guys, we've had 4 Bitcoin bull runs so far. Okay. Right. 2013, 2014, 2017, 2018, 1 month, 2018, 2021. Right. We had now. We've got the 2024, 2025 bull run. We've had 4 of them, okay? This one had a big peak and is going down already very quickly in the market, okay? Remember that. I want you to think about that. Had a big peak early, it's went down very quickly in the market. Just like 2 out of the 3 other ones, okay? 2013 market, same thing. The last market, same thing, double top. Look, the first one was not a double top because it far exceeded. But the point is that 2 out of the 3 bull markets that we've had completed has a lull in the middle, okay? The only one that didn't was 2017. It was the first time that really mainstream adoption even got touched. It was talked about in the news and stuff like that. So that was why that happened. But and the altcoin rallies were amazing, like, nothing you'd ever seen. It was the greatest bull market of all time. 2017 was the greatest bull market of all time. That will go down in history. Nothing will ever touch it. That's why those of us that were there are still here, because it was absolutely amazing. But the point is that when it comes to where we're at, a lot of books. When it comes to where we're at right now in the cycle, okay, so far, we're following the pattern of the ones that bounce back, because the one that doesn't match was up only. Okay, that's what you have to remember. The one bull market that was different than the 2 tops was up only. It was 2017. It was up only. Like, it just right. It went from $1,000 to 20,000 like before you could even blink. It was crazy. Okay. That would be like Bitcoin right now going to $20,000. Like, think about that. Like, or going to $200,000, like, just overnight. Like, that would be that kind of move. Like, that's what it did. It was crazy. Wait. No, it 20x'd. That would be like, it would be like Bitcoin going to $2 million from here. That's what it was. It was crazy. It 20x'd. So I digress. The point is that the market, we're at a very interesting time, and I think there's no reason to worry. I think still relax. I think these are buying opportunities. There may be slightly better ones, but we could get a capitulation wick, right? We could get a big one. Something crazy happens. But I think more likely is we're going to lull, and then we're going to get an announcement maybe of a ceasefire, potentially in Ukraine happening. And I think that could potentially send the market heading back up. You already see the potential for that coming. So lastly, guys, I do want to very quickly go back to my book here, and I do want to go back to x.com here. And I do want to remind you guys of a pin post here I have. Where's my pin post? Oh, squeeze pumping. That's great. Guys, I'm giving away. Also, I'm going to be getting back in the Discord this week, guys. So get ready for that. I'm going to be back in the Discord this week. Free signed copies of one of my first 2 books to the first 100 people who email a verified Amazon or Audible book review to ben@newworldfinance.io. And all you got to do is buy it on Amazon. You better give me a 5-star review. The book's good. I'm not asking for what it doesn't deserve. I promise you guys to read it. 4 or 5 stars is what it deserves. If you're less than that, you're a hater, period. It's somebody who literally paid me money, bought my book just to give a bad review, which they will exist. But the point is that I'm going to give away to the first 100 reviews. My last book has 500 reviews. So, this one should easily get 100. Email me and send me your address. And in about a month, I'm going to get all the books and I'm going to sign. Email me your preference on if you want Catching Up to Crypto, but you may have a signed copy of Catching Up to Crypto already because I did the book tour. You may want Catching Up to FTX. So tell me which one you want signed, and then tell me what you want it to say. And I'm going and give me your address. And in about a month, I'm going to mail you a book. Or you got to send me the screenshot, and I'm going to check, right? Like, don't do something fake. Like it needs to be on Amazon. I need to be able to see it on Amazon. If I can't see it on Amazon, it's not real. Okay, guys. So we are really, really excited about that. And guys, this has just been a really long journey for me. And I don't know when it ends. I don't know when I am ever going to be back to a regular place living again. I'm honestly probably just going to be staying at the beach for an indefinite amount of time. So I will show you on Twitter where the cops were looking for me. Here they were at my 83-year-old grandparents' house. I had my uncle drive my truck there. And you guys can see that instead of going to the door like a cop's supposed to do and getting permission to search, he immediately just walks up and tries to find me. When he was confronted by my family, they said, "What did he do?" They said, "Oh, it's a misdemeanor." They said, "You can't search property for a misdemeanor." And they said, "Well," so my uncle asked him, they said, "So what did he do?" And he said, "Oh, he'll know when I slap the cuffs on. When I slap the cuffs on him, he'll know." Guys, this is sketchy stuff that's going on around me. You guys are going to see this is targeted. Whoever this cop is that's looking for me, there's no doubt he's a dirty cop for sure. You can tell by the way he did. What happened is my grandparents or my uncle confronted him after this. They then went back and found that he had been searching the property looking for me before even coming to the door. They saw the cop on another security camera. There's another cop there, and they saw him, and that's why they went back and checked these tapes, because they went out and talked to the other one. They didn't know this other guy was walking around looking for me on the property the whole time. I tell you guys what, you got to protect old Bitboy. He knows things. I do have my whack tattoo. You guys, if you guys want to go on Solana, you can find it. I got in the book. I beg people to go buy this coin. Whacked. I've got a bunch of it, and if you buy the coin, I can sell some of it and make some money. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate the Bit Squad. I know people know there's a lot of stuff going on with me personally right now, and so I'm not too much in the comments right now. So just because of some of that stuff, but just know I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. This is the new show these days. All right. I appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Bit Squad. Love you. Bitboy out. Be blessed.